Hello everyone, so another Wolves update video for me today, the day after the Spurs defeat. I want to talk a little bit about Rob's comments post-match where he looked a bit broken but also not worried. I want to talk about the season ticket prices that dropped a few days ago, I haven't spoken about that yet, and there's some big news on S.Bueno and others. Before I get into it, can I just say I'm recording this as the London Marathon is just kicked off. I think the pros are off as I'm recording this, but you may have seen Manny has walked to the start line and is running it for Dementia UK. So, I mean, that is incredible. I don't know how the hell he's going to do that, but let's see if he makes it. By the time you watch this, he might have. I've donated to that. And also another Wolves fan I want to give a shout out to, Paul, who sits next to me at the Molineux. His daughter, Charlotte, is also doing the London Marathon today for the Wolves Foundation. I believe her target's £1,000. She's up to around 600 when I last looked. So I'll leave links below for both of their links for running the marathon. And if you can, please donate or tell a friend if they want to donate. And yeah, share it about. So good luck to Manny and Charlotte representing Wolves. And yeah, I hope they do well. I don't know how you can run a marathon. I think my legs would fall off. But there we go. Now, let's get on to the news today. So Rob, post-match after the Spurs loss, he looked a bit broken, but I don't know if he's trying to kid himself with some of his comments, and some of them were winding people up, and I can see why. So the first clip I want to play from his post-match interview is the one where he spoke a little bit about him saying, we didn't look like a relegated team.
But the effort and the spirit, like you say, is important after the week you've had to see that today.
Yeah, look, we got relegated this week, confirmed, and as I say, their motivation levels were really high, but it didn't look like today. It didn't look like we were a relegated team. You know, there was nothing really in the game at all. But
yeah, so I completely disagree. We did look like a relegated team. It looked like two relegated teams on that pitch. I don't know if he means the effort they were putting in. He thinks they're not playing like they are already relegated, but I completely disagree. We turned up. There was some casual performances on that pitch, in my opinion, yesterday, and it was a tough watch, a very, very tough watch. So I disagree there. I get he's got to try and stay positive and try and maybe make himself believe that the players haven't checked out, when all of us, the last 3 games, can see they pretty much have. In this next clip, a bit of a longer one, he speaks about the fact that we just can't limp out of the league and just go out on a whimper, which is a big topic at the moment. This is what Rob had to say about that.
Everyone gave their all, and in the end, that is all that they can do. We know we're lacking, you know, with certain things. We know that. But we're in the process of trying to change that. But it's going to take some time.
Yeah, and in terms of change and time, finally, is it important to have a little bit of shoots of positivity before next season rather than limping out of the Premier League?
Yeah, of course. I didn't feel like today we were limping out, you know. But you're right. We want to try and get some results. Of course we do. We're trying to. Coming off the back of a couple of difficult defeats, and today I thought we looked tighter. We looked solid. We, you know, as I say, in that second half we were pushing. We gave ourselves a really good platform to try and attack the game. So, but yeah, you're right. We want to try and get some results. Of course we do. That's the name of the game.
So he don't think we are. He don't think we're going out on a whimper. Which, if he's watched the last 3 games and is honest with himself, we are. A lot of those players have completely checked out, which is the very thing we didn't want to happen, because it happens every season, and we always seem to carry it into next season. Bit of a different situation because we're going down to a different league. But it's not good for Rob, is it, either? And people are really starting to lose their patience with Rob. The pendulum's swinging a lot more to Rob out now as the weeks go on. And I think I said, just after that big break we had, the big 3 or 4 week break, I said, we've got to not just lose every game. And we're losing every game. So for his career, he's got to pick up something in the last few games we've got remaining. Obviously, Sunderland up next. We've just got to have some kind of positive performance to latch on to, else his job really is under pressure. And again, at full time, right after the game, the flags were back out, the Taiwan flags, saw the Express and Star. Mate, you know, put that everywhere. So, you know, the noises are rising again after kind of getting everyone a little bit back on board. It's, yeah. It's not looking good. So for Rob, he really needs to improve things. And he did look a bit broken, didn't he, in that interview? You can see it's getting to him, which he's only human and it will. But he's got to try and convince a lot of this fan base he is the right man for the job next season, which is going to be tough to do. And talking of next season, the season tickets did drop. I believe it was Friday, just around the time I released my Spurs preview, actually. And it's good viewing. They did promise us for the adult tickets it would be a 25% reduction on average. And they've yeah, they've done that. And some things to mention, yeah, like a minimum of 25%, a lot are below that in the adult sections. Optional smartphone stadium entry will be introduced next season as well, which I know people will be happy with. Instead of messing around with physical tickets, you can use your phone to get through the turnstiles. The Graham Hughes stand, the one in the corner everyone gets wet by the South Bank, will no longer be a season ticket section. So the people who had season tickets in there this season have been contacted about that, which I guess is good. You don't really want to be sitting in there all season, do you? So they're getting rid of that as a season ticket stand, which I think is a good move because it's a terrible stand. And supporters who use direct debit for the campaign just gone will automatically have their season ticket renewed. You have to email the club if you do not want to renew. I've been victim of this before. I actually weren't going to renew this season, and I kind of was iffing and ahhing, and then it renewed automatically, so my decision was made for me, which was a bit annoying. But yeah, so make sure if you have got direct debit, you email the club to say you do not want to renew if that is the case. So some little bit of concerns. I think the prices are very fair. Yes, we're going to be still one of the highest paid season ticket prices in the Championship, but we should be trying to push up there, hopefully. But it's gone down a lot, hasn't it? In the Steve Ball, it's gone down 28% to $599. There was a bit of concern still about the Billy Wright upper. So in the centre, it has gone down 26%, but it's still £699 for a season ticket in the Billy Wright upper centre. That is a lot still, isn't it? A lot. They should have put that down a bit more, I think. But 28% in the Steve Ball, fair enough. It's a terrible stand, but a decent view. Your knees get battered. But behind the goals, obviously 549. I'm happy with that. That's where my season ticket is. And it's about the similar sort of price as it was when we first got back into the Premier League. But obviously you've got to take into consideration the cost of living and inflation and things like that. So I think it's pretty much fair. Of course, there will still be people saying it should have gone down more than it already has with what we've had to watch. But I'll be honest, I'm surprised it's actually gone down this much. And Nathan, and his staff and that have actually listened. So I think this is a good thing done by the club. They've stuck to their word. And the kids' prices are incredible. Really good. They lowered the kids' prices so much, which obviously they said they were going to do a few weeks ago now. Now on to a bit of news about our players in terms of outgoings. There was a news release by Rodri Vazquez that he's saying that Santiago Bueno will leave Wolves in the summer. The intention is to continue in the Premier League, and there is already interest from clubs in the top flight of English football. Again, I really want to keep Santi. He would be incredible in the Championship, but I did even say on my Who Will Stay and Who Will Go video a few months ago now that I think Santiago Bueno will leave, purely because of his international career as well. He really wants to get back into the Uruguay side, and I knew there would be interest from Premier League clubs because he is a steady Eddie consistent defender in the league, isn't he, in the Premier League, and I just thought there would be suitors for him. It'd be amazing if we kept him, but this journo who is over in Uruguay is saying that yeah, he's gonna go, and he's got a lot of suitors. So there's another player that's gonna be leaving. I mean, Mosquera was one of my last updates. Now Santi. There's gonna be a lot of outgoings, as we know. And an update on João Gomez. Alex Crook at TalkSport exclusively revealed that Atletico Madrid have opened talks with Wolves over a move for the midfielder. Wolves value Gomez around £40 million. We've got to hold strong to keep his value high. I still believe he'll go to a Premier League club, João Gomez. It's highly reported, and a lot of local journos have said that João Gomez, if he could pick, he'd want to go to the Premier League and stay in England. But Atletico Madrid are a massive club, aren't they? So if he is to go abroad, I think he'd go there instead of like Napoli, because I know Napoli have been interested. And of course, a lot of people do say that João Gomez suits Atletico's style down to a T. Like, he'd be absolutely made for their team in midfield there. So if he does end up there, hopefully we can hold out for a minimum of 40 million. But hopefully this creates a bidding war, and Man United come in now, and obviously we know Palace are interested. There's reports Leeds have inquired for João Gomez as well. So as I said on the previous video, he'll probably be one of the first out the door, and it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. But there we go. Outgoings galore, as we know, as we end this season, and the summer transfer window will be open. But everybody, please like the video. I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone who comes up to me at the games. A lot of people come and say hello and say they appreciate the videos. And obviously it's always nice to hear. And it's nice to know people are actually watch, because they're just numbers on the screen. But yeah. But please comment your thoughts down below on these news updates. And please subscribe. I'm so close to 12,000 100 or so off now, and that'd be great to hit that. Cheers everyone, have a great end to your Sunday, and enjoy the London Marathon, and please donate to Manny and Charlotte. Cheers.